Boy, you know what time it is.
Welcome to the Bromigos podcast.
I need it!
Hey, how are you?
This is amazing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite podcast, the Bromigos podcast, episode 60, the big 6-0. Hard to imagine that we've got 60 episodes in. This is the Hoochieman, holding it down as always.
The Undercover Brotha is back, baby. I don't have the bandana this week since I apparently offended a few people in the chat and in the stream here. So my bad, y'all, my bad. But you know, I still got the Rakim chain going. I got the sunglasses. I got some of the look I'm keeping. I got some of the look. I look like a fucking gangster in Miami in the 1980s. I look like a fucking discount non-Hispanic Tony Montana.
Who lied to you? Hey, Panama Red. I don't know who lied to this guy here. Like a gangster from where? Miami in the 80s? Is that what you said?
Like Scarface vibes, you know.
How dare you?
My name is Tony Montana. All I need is a big pile of cocaine in the. All I need is a big pile of cocaine on my desk, and I will be like,
it's not
perfect.
even close to how Tony sounds.
And the name Tony Montana, huh?
And you're looking at me like fucking Al Pacino was actually doing a decent Cuban accent. Come on, Mike, cut me some slack here.
Tony Montana.
That's not how Tony sounds. Listen, Tony sounds something like, I thought you to tell him you're a sanitation. No, a sanitarium. Hey, you play refs? Okay. But you sound special.
Oh man, we are starting already today. Jesus, Christ.
See, listen, Dante be picking on you. If I'm saying something, you just bringing it upon yourself. Like, I'm not a bully, okay? But I will critique something foolish you do in the moment. I'm gonna call you out. Like, you're tripping. What?
I do it all for the name of entertainment.
Oh my God! No, you better than me. Better than me. Hell no. What the hell? No. And you gotta. What is this? This undercover.
Oh my God! Whoa. We're starting this show off fantastically.
Oh my God! Take it away. Somebody take it away.
So we got some things we want to talk about today. Let's get the fucking really depressing shit out of the way first. Hunter, you wanted to talk about this since it's been in the news all week, and
yeah,
I don't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it because apparently they're making it into something that it shouldn't be, and that kind of pisses me off.
It pisses me off too. So back in England, how they have different hockey leagues going on, there was an incident that occurred in which a hockey player got their neck sliced by the skate of another player, and he ended up dying a day later from that injury. But the part that stands out about this is that the player who skate hit the neck of the other player happened to be black, and the player that got their neck basically slit by the skate was white. So now this has turned into a whole thing about race. So the person who lost their life, Adam Johnson, former Penguins player, playing over in England, and the person who slashed his throat it was a freak accident. Matt Petgrave, he is a 31-year-old, 200 pounds, just wrong place, wrong time. Tried to hit someone, and in the motion, the leg went up, and Johnson just so happened to be skating right towards it, and then boom, just he got him in the neck. But apparently this has turned into a political thing because it's about race. Because if the guy's black, oh, that means he did it intentionally. No, he didn't. No one has the intention of going out on, whether it's a football field, basketball court, hockey rink, doesn't matter. No one has the intention of going out and killing someone. That's just asinine to me. And the fact that this man's getting death threats over it, and he's become the face now of this whole incident, it's terrible, because it's not the first time this has happened. This has happened in the past, and it's all been accidental. Where a couple of times this happened back in the States, back in like the 80s and the 90s, where players got their throat accidentally slit and they almost bled out to death, but they managed to survive. Unfortunately, this didn't happen in England, but The problem I have with it is, why are we making it about race? And why does everyone think that it's intentional? Because I don't see it.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. First of all, people keep sending me the video. I have not watched the video. I do not want to watch the video because that
I've
shit
seen
will
it.
just depress the fuck out of me. I don't want to see a guy basically get killed on the ice in a sport that I enjoy very much so, which is hockey. We can't just let the motherfucker rest in peace. Well, I shouldn't say motherfucker, but we can't just let the guy rest in peace. Like, he obviously lost his life. It's a freak accident. Shit like this happens all the time in sports, unfortunately. I mean, look at all the weird ACL injuries that have been going on in the NFL recently. Half of them are not even non-content, and these guys are just fucking tearing their ACLs like no one's business. But that's a different story for a different time. This particular incident, the fact that they're making it about race now really pisses me off. It does. I haven't even engaged in any of the discourse surrounding it. It's just depressing. Just let the guy rest in peace, brother. I know I've seen reports that the guy who lifted up the skate, he feels terrible. He probably may or may not play another game of hockey in his life now, knowing this. Who knows? It's a real shame. It is a shame, and I'm for the people that are making it something it isn't. Go fuck yourself, honestly. What about you, Mike? Have you heard about this situation?
So I'm a casual when it comes to hockey. I don't know a whole lot. I played a little deck hockey when I was in high school just to stay in shape for soccer. So I did that during the winter. And like with my friends in the street, like I did it. I did whatever was anything athletic, anything to do with sports, I would do it. But I don't know a whole lot about hockey. I know the rules and how and checking people. I know that motherfuckers hit each other real hard in hockey. I don't think anyone plays as Hunter. I believe Hunter, you were the one that said. I don't think anyone plays a sport with the intentions of genuinely hurting someone. Like in football, you wanna hit them, but you don't want to really like injure them to the like you don't want to injure them. You just want to let them know you're here. That's contact sports, you know. The fact that some people would take a horrific accident and make it about race when anyone with common sense, like if it was the other way around, I'd tell you right now, they were like, "Oh, he's black, so he died." I'd be like, "Yo, that's nonsense. That's utter nonsense." Especially when playing a sport. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? I feel sad for those people that feel the need to make every single thing about race. I feel really sad for them. I used to get angry, and I'm glad I smoked a joint before this because I think if I been sober, I'd be flipping out and really wouldn't think about it. But at this point, like, why are we surprised? At this point, it's
I
like,
hate
why are
that
we
you're right about that. That's the problem. I hate that you're right. That it's like, why are we surprised that this is still going on?
the actions of people? It's just like, when are we going to regain our humanity and actually start giving a shit about each other? Like, enough is enough. Enough of the black and white thing, the white and black thing. Like, I hate hearing the way people talk about each other when we're fighting amongst ourselves like rats, while the elite people keep getting richer and richer, and we're getting poorer and poorer and fighting over crumbs. Like, really, we're fighting over crumbs, and we just keep doing it to ourselves. I don't. I love and hate everyone equally. If you're a good person, I like you. You're a good person. Just be a good person. Decency is lost, man. And that's honestly how I feel about it. There's no need to get fired up. I don't know why we're even surprised. Like, realistically, it's sad, and it's sad to feel that way. Same thing how we feel about gun violence and people dying and children dying. We're numb to it.
I'll never forget the one instance where we were talking about a gun violence issue and we actually forgot which one we were talking about because there had been so many in such a short span of time. Like, we were like, oh, it was this one. No, it was this one. Like, when we got to start doing stuff like that, that's when you know it's gone too far. And I say that as someone that will probably, if I have the money anyway, be purchasing a firearm in the near future here because I have my card for that. So
Real quick, what was the name of this gentleman that passed? He passed, right?
Yeah, Adam Johnson.
My condolences to Adam Johnson's family. It's sad that people are taking such a tragic moment and losing of loved one. Those of us who have lost loved ones understand that pain. And I couldn't imagine someone taking a moment like that where it's grief and you're overwhelmed with pain and anger, and then you have to turn around and someone use that as a political motive or whatever the hell they're doing with it. It's just pathetic at this point, man. Condolences to him and to that family.
Moving on.
Please.
On the topic of sports.
Please.
I saw something that I don't even want to know. I don't know if I call it out of pocket or just completely ridiculous, but there is a story that I seen going around, and unfortunately I saw it through TMZ. But there's an ex-NBA star by the name of, one moment please, Joe Smith. I don't know who he played for, or when he played, or what, but apparently Joe Smith's wife started an OnlyFans, and he wasn't too happy about it. And I watched that whole interview, or at least whatever portions I can get out of it from a couple of different sources. And listening to this interview, I thought I would feel bad for Joe here, but he really, when I really read into it, he seems like he did it all to himself. Allow me to explain, if I may, gentlemen. Apparently, he had met this woman whose name I don't know, unfortunately. I didn't pick that up, unfortunately. She was an adult film star years prior to meeting. So that's the first thing. She then moved to Germany, of all places, Mike, to be a singer, and apparently was doing very well for herself. And that's when those two had met. From that point, they got together, got married, and she moved back to the US with him, thinking that she can take her singing career off in the US. Unfortunately, she was wrong. And apparently, Joe Smith is very awful with money and marketing himself and what to do with his money. So they basically have been struggling for what seems to be a large majority of their relationship. So she decided that she was going to do something for herself amongst all this chaos in their relationship and all these money issues, and make an OnlyFans. And apparently he took a very, very big issue with it. So as I lay all that information out to you, who would like to touch on it first?
Well, I'll say this. I did a little research on Joe Smith. He was actually the first overall pick in the 1995 draft by the Warriors. And, I mean, my goodness, this dude's bounced from team to team, left and right. So he's basically like a role player. His career ended in 2011, so that's probably why we don't know of this guy. But I can see a little bit why he's upset because, I mean, I know you're having money issues, don't get me wrong, but everyone knows in 2023 when someone makes an OnlyFans, you're thinking, okay, well, they're just gonna let everything show on the interwebs for all those to see. And I guess for him, that's something that is kind of, I don't want to say near and dear to his heart, but it's like no one deserves the right to look at my woman the way that I deserve to, Like, I feel like that's why he's a little bit upset with that, even though, like, it's a cash cow. I mean, OnlyFans is literally a cash cow for. There are people desperate enough that will seek in, buy in, and who knows, spend tens, hundreds, thousands of dollars. But I guess he just doesn't want people looking at his woman that way, and I feel like that's why he's a little bit upset with it.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because one of the first big quotes I got from that TMZ article, and this is her words, not mine, was something along the lines of, "That's what you get when you don't pay attention to your wife." Because apparently she had the page, for well over a year before he even found out.
Oh.
So I don't know if she was trying to keep it quiet or what, but this had been an ongoing thing for quite some time. And how she held on to it for a year without him finding out is beyond me. Apparently someone outside of their marriage gave him the scoop. And that's how this whole that's how this shit show made it onto this show. So, Mike, now that you've taken all this information in, what are your thoughts?
What'd she say? What was her quote?
I might have slightly paraphrased it, but it was along the lines of, "That's what you get when you don't pay attention to your wife."
So my reaction is this. Our question, first off, is did they have a conversation about any of this? I understand that sometimes people make difficult choices when faced with financial hardships, right? But if you're going to do something like create an OnlyFans as someone's wife, you should probably have a conversation with your husband about that. And if, you guys can't come to an agreement, then you just don't do it. I mean, it's just respect. That's what you marry someone for, right? You respect your partner, you respect your husband, you respect your wife. I think they should have had a conversation. As far as that's what you get when you don't pay attention to your wife. Listen, again, did y'all have a conversation about it? Like, if you begging and pleading, like I personally don't believe in cheating. I've cheated before in my life, and karma has gotten me. Karma has gotten the fuck out of me. But I feel like if you take the leap of faith and you love someone enough that you want to marry them, why would you cheat on that person?
Do you consider making an OnlyFans cheating?
No, I think like you're not having a conversation with your husband. Your husband, I agree with Hunter. I think he should be, I would be livid, bro.
Well, apparently there's a video going around of him finding out and being livid.
My point about that I was getting to about the cheating is when people cheat on their partner and they've had a conversation like, you're not loving me the way I want to be loved, or withholding sex or something like that, and they cheat, that's the only time I'm like, yo, listen, they tried to talk to you about it. So my point is, you should have if she had a conversation with him about this and he chose to ignore it, hey, it still doesn't necessarily make it right or wrong, but it's like, hey, she tried to talk to you about it. You didn't help her as a man. You didn't step up to the plate. You didn't help her either, or contribute, or at least have a conversation to figure out how we can fix this. If they did that and she, chose to make an OnlyFans, hey, but if she just did it because that's her own, she's like, forget him, I'm doing what I want. Nah, then I don't agree with that at all.
So I can't confirm or deny if any of these conversations had taken place. And for all we know on this show, they did take place. And again, like you said, they were completely ignored. So it was kind of like a last ditch effort sort of thing. Because apparently, they're not, I mean, from what she described in this interview, they weren't doing too hot financially. This seems like more of a last ditch effort than anything to me. And I'm not hating on it, to be honest. I mean,
if I seen part of the video and it looks like she was recording it, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that people don't do foolishness like that, like put their business out there like that, unless they know they have receipts. Like, listen, I've been trying to talk to your ass and you ain't want to, that's something else. I want to err on the side of caution, not even caution, just let's think about this as an adult and be like, you know what, maybe he's wrong. I don't know. I think either way is just messy, and you shouldn't put your business out there anyway. You shouldn't put your business out there. You shouldn't have made an OnlyFans. I don't care. Like, you're somebody's wife. Like, why would you want? No. It has nothing. No.
The crazier part is, she was, like I said, a former adult star. So it's not like it wasn't something she could, I think she was trying to get out of that business. That's why she went into singing overseas. And then she kind of had to, it seems as though it was a situational thing. And she kind of had to revert back to what she already knew. And that's selling ass. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is.
Oh, come on.
She had to sell something, man. You gotta make that money somehow.
Jail. Terrible. Y'all see what I got to deal with? He don't got no common sense today. He just coming in here all willy-nilly, looking all three ways of crazy, thinking he freaking slim.
You thinking he's Tony Montana from Miami?
Hold on a second. Hold on. Where do you think my common sense is going off here? Please tell me. Enlighten me.
Oh, what the? She had to revert back to what she knows: selling ass.
Is that what she did before?
But that's what she was, a former porn star. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, we could also say that he knew what he was getting himself into when dealing with a former porn star. We could also say that. We could also say I was going to mention that. Whatever she's done prior to him is none of his business. I mean, he could just Google the stuff, but whatever. I don't know, man. Could it be me? I know that much. Could it be me?
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though.
There's no know what it feels like to sleep with a porn star. Not me, sir. Not me. No, thank you. I could not personally could not date one. No, thank you.
I think
Everybody has seen you naked.
I offer a different side of it because I did technically in some way, shape, or form worked in that industry as a part of my old show. But I will be going to Exotica this coming weekend, as I was telling you guys off mic before, to cover the
So
show.
shout out porn.
Yeah, so shout out for him. So I will be surrounded by a bunch of these individuals that do this, and quite frankly, I don't necessarily hate on it. A hustle is a hustle to me. But if I were just if you're gonna ask me if I would date one, that's a different question entirely. And I kind of think back to our episode we did with Bleach Bros and Jake the Hater's story, if you remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to myself, or what he said was like, everybody thinks it's cool until you actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he's not wrong.
No, thank you.
Because you got to take into account if you're going to date someone in that sort of field, whether it's a porn star, OnlyFans model, or whatever. The way I see it, I take into it, okay, so would my family like it? Like my immediate family, like sister, mother, dad, would they like it? And then would my surrounding
they never do.
family like
Trust
it?
me, they never do.
Like your grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, and then your cousins. It's like, how are they going to see this, you know? And if the overwhelming majority is that they're going to see it in a bad light, it's like, nah, I'm good. I don't need it. That's the way I see it.
I think it depends on the upbringing too. Like in the conversations I've had with some stars, so their family was against it at first, but they kind of understand and they support them in their own way that they see fit. However, if there's someone like, the background of Mia Khalifa, for instance, that woman can never go back to her homeland or else she'll be burned at the stake. Let's be honest.
She did some things that were just haram. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. Like you can't. That's like when people disgrace Christians. Christians get upset too. You can't disgrace or insult Islam and then think they're just going to be. There's some people that are willing to die for that. You gotta be careful with religion. I'm not a religious person anymore per se. Like, it's hard to get rid of what I'd like to sometimes call 38 years of programming. Of all my life, I've been surrounded by religion. So it is a part of me because part of it has made me who I am as a man. But I don't consider myself to be religious, but I do respect. I challenge them on their beliefs all the time, every chance I get. It's fun for me. People sometimes want to quote the Bible. I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? Like I dead ass took a class, religion. Like, you really want to quote the Bible? Sure, let's do it. Fine.
I feel like you memorized the Bible by heart, given your upbringing by now.
No, there's definitely a lot that I've forgotten about the Bible, but it's just I grew up in going to Catholic school, first and second grade. Then when I lived in Panama, I went to Seventh-day Adventist school. Like religion has just been a staple in my life, right? But there's a lot of things about religion I just simply disagree with, and people have done a lot of messed up things in the name of religion, and I question it. A lot of it. It's hard for me because I've seen things and witnessed things, and it's hard to then listen like to a God. It's just I don't even want to get into it. It's just difficult sometimes.
I mean, look what the fuck's happening in the Middle East right now. That hasn't gotten any better since the last time we spoke about it.
In the name of religion, man. Fudge. Look what they're doing in the name of religion. Look what they're doing.
Religion, quote unquote.
No, I'm not gonna disrespect Jews, right? Because every run-in that I've had with people of the Jewish community have been nothing but good to me. I used to sleep with a Jewish girl. You know what I'm saying? They've been nothing but good to me. Like, it's hard for me to disgrace an entire race or religion of people based on the actions of few. And I don't understand how people get caught up in that like sheep. Like, how are we going to look at a group of people and be like, they're all terrible? You know what? Who's terrible? The Zionist people are terrible. The people that support this, the Jewish people that support this are terrible. They're terrible people. They are the people that we just don't like. Because I don't understand how people can look at what's going on and just be okay with it.
You know what I heard today, though?
What's that?
And this is just today. Who knows what's going to fucking happen when we upload this episode? Apparently, they dropped white phosphorus on a school.
Yes, I did hear that. I don't know. For people who don't understand, so listen. When I was in the Army, I was an artilleryman, right? We shot. There's things you're not allowed to shoot. According to Geneva Conventions, there are things you are not allowed to shoot. One of them is white phosphorus. Why? Because that thing burns through you. It does not. It just burns. It will burn through your fucking skin. It'll burn you. Could you imagine? Like, that has me fired up. Fuck being high. That has me fired up because I cannot believe, if you're not angry by that, bro, something is wrong with you. People don't understand.
I'm sorry to get you fired up, by the way.
Way to go, Matt.
My bad, Mike. I didn't mean to.
People don't understand, bro. What these people, I've been on the other side of doing some fucked up shit. People don't understand, bro, what these people are going through. They don't understand what these people are going through. That the white phosphorus thing had me blown, bro.
And it's the desert. I'm assuming it's still the desert too. Like, you don't fucking fire that shit in the desert. It gets into the sand. So someone else who I know who is in a similar type of unit to you, which was artillery, they said they don't even fire that shit in the sand because it will sink into the sand. And if you kick up sand and there's like dust storms and shit, it's gonna affect you for weeks. Weeks. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, I thought. Listen, I've been on a pretty objective viewing standpoint on this whole scenario just because I don't want to get into it. I'm not nearly as educated about it. I've seen enough footage of the past to be like, oh, fuck, this is some crazy shit going on over there. But this is what they're doing is fucked. It's like genocide. It is genocide.
How much longer can this go on? Like, what lengths is it going to take to be like, okay, that's enough. We don't need to do this anymore.
Until every single one of them are in the ground, Hunter.
And
that's
you know what's
essentially
messed
what
up?
it is.
The fucked up part about all of this is, even if you look behind the war and, like, let's pull back the curtain, I guarantee this is over some shit, some form of resource. I guarantee it's over. It's always over that. It's always over that. Yo,
if that's the case, why did Hamas strike first, though? That's what I don't understand, because they apparently shot first. And then,
Matthew, this is what we're not going to do. This is what we're not going to do. First off, see, because that's always the argument. Let me tell you something. Hamas didn't even exist till somewhere. I'm not exactly sure of the timeline, but Hamas wasn't around. Israel came into statehood in 1948. And since then, they have been systematically trying to remove Palestinians from their land. Okay. And then taking more and more and more and more and more. I'm sorry, not for nothing, right? And I don't care what the circumstance. I don't care what not for nothing. If somebody keeps bullying you and pushing you and pushing you and pushing you, what do you expect to do? What do you expect is going to happen? Eventually, you going to clock this motherfucker, man. I'm sorry, I've been doing real fucking well with not cursing, but I'm fired up. I cannot stand that argument, right? Because Hamas didn't always exist. It came in to essentially, it's like gangs. You know how gangs started? Gangs started Bloods and Crips. It was to protect their neighborhood from outside people that was messing them up, and then it evolved into something really messed up. I'm not saying now that they're a terrorist organization or not, because I'm not educated well enough to know whether or not they are terrorists. What I do know is organizations like that usually start because they're sick and tired and they're fed up, man. They're fed up. The Jewish state has been systematically removing these people from their land forcibly since 1948. What do people with any sort of common sense expect to happen? Seriously. So I get tired of hearing the Hamas thing. It's like saying, oh, the Bloods and Crips or gangs are bad. Yeah, they're bad, but when they started off, what do you think they were, bro? To protect themselves from people.
Just to defend not that I'm defending my point, but just to explain what I meant by that. When you say they were fighting over you think they were fighting over a resource, so that seems to be where this.
Yeah, no.
I was just curious, like, if that was the case, I was trying to figure out, and I don't disagree with you by any means. I just was trying to figure out why they would bother to shoot first if that was the case, because they know they're fucking with someone that you probably shouldn't be fucking with. Let's be honest.
Israel is backed by the U.S. or the UK. That's why they can swing their meat the way they're swinging it. Listen, I also want to be clear that my heart goes out to the Jewish families in Israel that have suffered for all of this. Anyone innocent, any innocence involved, man, woman, and child, anyone involved in this, my heart goes out to. I just want to make that clear. I don't, like I said, I do not hate, and I'm trying to be clear because, when I'm not clear, people start feeling things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jail. That's for me. I put myself in jail because I'm being good up.
Is that the first time you've ever put yourself in jail on this show? 60 episodes?
Take me in. Take me in. I don't want it. But I feel for all the loss over there. It's unfair and it's not right how innocence always has to suffer through the actions of evil men. It's terrible. So I just want to make that clear. But at the same time, it still doesn't make the conflict any less wrong. Like, it's wrong, period. I don't care what you bring me. You want to talk about it in the Bible? We could talk about it in the Bible. We could do that. We good. We can start that. Because I mentioned a little bit of it last week. Abraham was
Canaan and all that.
Yeah, so we can talk about it. But
I'm just surprised I haven't seen you fighting anybody on Twitter, because that's where I've seen most of the discourse. But
I let stupid people be happy. It saves my peace. I want to talk to someone who can better me. Like, if I'm wrong, tell me where I'm wrong. You insulting me does not prove your point. Call me the N-word or insulting me is not going to teach me anything. It just shows me how ignorant you are, right? If I'm wrong, tell me why I'm wrong and show me where I'm wrong. Prove it to me. Have a conversation with me, right? So I don't go on tour because most people don't know anything about it. Most people don't even care enough. They go find some 10-second clip of someone screaming or
out
whatever.
Of context, no less.
Yeah, basically. And then they formulate their ideas based on that little one point of view. So it's like, no, why would I engage in any form of discourse with people like that?
And even then, I feel like sometimes, depending on the topic, we've fallen into that same trap here and there. But that's just human nature. You see something and then you kind of react to it.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like we try to learn from it and better ourselves because of it. And even when we're not always right, even when we are proven wrong, and Lord knows there have been some occasions that we've been proven wrong to some extent on this show. And that's fine. I'm okay with being wrong as long as it is educational and betters me and all of us in the process. But
yeah,
it is a fucking shame to see. So I do second you on that.
Yeah,
that our heart goes out to everybody in that conflict.
So I did, speaking of X, formerly known as Twitter, I did engage in, because, my team right now is, okay, I'm going to call it what it is. They're trash right now.
Which team?
Man United. They're Manchester United. The Red Devils are absolutely garbage right now. Okay. And anybody that's listening to this as a football fan, soccer for those in the US, if you don't agree with me, we can have a conversation.
Sell the team.
Okay. No. I'm not even going to. Well, the Glazers need to sell the team. That's we don't even need to mention that. But I was talking to some fool because a lot of United fans want Eric Ten Hag. They want him out. Okay. And I disagree wholeheartedly. Anyone who's been watching Manchester United for the past decade has seen a constant rotation of managers, right? We do ass in the transfer market. We're overpaying players that we shouldn't. We're just getting flops. It's just been utter shambles.
Yeah, Marcus Rashford is fucking killing you guys right now.
Not even him, because you know what? Marcus Rashford last season was on an absolute tear. And Marcus Rashford has been, season after season, he goes up, then he goes down, then he goes up, then he goes down, right? And it doesn't matter what my point is, it doesn't matter what manager, like you have Lindelof and Shaw, and Maguire's been there for a few seasons now, Rashford, McTominay, you have all these players that have been there under a few managers, and it still is the same thing. They get one season where the manager immediately when he steps in, the team is invigorated. Yeah, boom, they start doing really well. Second season come in, like when Ole stepped in, Boom, really well. The team started doing amazing. Oh, shit, boom. Next season, terrible, gone. You had Ralph Ragnick come in. Well, he couldn't right the ship at all. Then you had fucking Eric Ten Hag come in. Boom, they do well. Oh, they go on a tear. Boom. Second season, garbage. At some point, you got to look and be like, it's not the manager.
It's
Jose
not.
Mourinho, one of the best managers of our time. Same thing. You can't keep blaming the manager. You can't. At some point, you got to look. I'm sorry. I like McTominay. He's not a United player. He's not world class, bro. He's not. Bruno, as good as the stats say he is, he plays for himself. Rashford is just off. And when he's not on, we got Reguilón, who couldn't even stay at Spurs, but United is picking him up, and we expect him to do. We got Johnny Oldman Evans back there, bro, who played under Sir Alex Ferguson. Bro, like, this man he's a fucking dinosaur, and what do you expect out of him? Like, let's be serious. Our team has been dealing with injuries. These players aren't playing with heart. And what's my boys? My boys, come talk to me about this. Get me on the show. Let's talk about this.
Oh, wait, what trio?
Yes. I hope they're listening. Let's talk about this because first of all, I'm painting. And then I got to watch casual ass Matthew Undercover Brother.
Completely just make a fucking fool out of myself on that episode.
Dick ride Liverpool. Oh my God. I just started liking football and I'm a Liverpool fan. Oh,
fuck you. Okay, so this is where I'm going to step. This is where I'm going to cut you off. This is where I'm cutting your ass off.
Damn show. You make me sick. It's nauseating.
Fuck you, first of all.
You come
Second
into
of all. No.
like,
let me. If you're gonna talk shit, let me say my piece then.
No, I'm not done. People like you make me nauseous. I just start liking. It's like Germans that all of a sudden start liking the Seahawks when they were winning. You flipping bandwagoners. I'm an Eagles fan, bro. You want to talk about pain and suffering? You want to talk about pain? And I'm not even the type of fan.
And I'm a Giants fan, and look at me, okay? How do
you
think I
have
fucking
to suffer
feel?
through y'all shit. All my friends are Giants fans. I had to suffer through all of you. And then when we finally get one, you only won one. Jail. All of you. You casual fans make me sick.
So again, fuck you.
No, I'm not done.
Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
done.
Fuck you, Mike.
All of a sudden, you want to World Cup comes along. This looks interesting. Oh, it's in Qatar. Wow, that's different. Fucking Qatar's. Oh wow, that was a great World Cup, by the way. Oh man,
I've been watching the World Cup since fucking South Africa. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna start liking football. And of all the teams I choose to like, I like Liverpool. Tell me, give me three of their all-time best players. Give me three of them.
I can't because I'm still learning.
Wayne Rooney.
I know Salah is one of them.
Not even
David Beckham.
Don't you dare. Rooney played for Manchester. Okay, you don't even know who Fernando Torres is? You don't know you're one of the best players on your team, Steven Gerrard. You don't know who that is, bro? You can't even give me Milner,
learning,
bro?
okay?
I know Jean Gerard.
Come on, bro. I mean, Milner wasn't that great, but Milner played.
Please don't get me started on Milner. Please don't get me started on Milner. I fucking
David Beckham
on the field last
I
year.
apologize, people, but I get so disgusted looking at. I go on Facebook, there it is. Oh, Liverpool. I go on Instagram. Oh, Liverpool.
At least my team wins. At least my team is still in the Carabao Cup. Fuck you. They get embarrassed at home. Okay. Now, if I may finally fucking speak.
You missed the beginning part when Klopp got there. You missed it. It wasn't all fucking butterflies and sunshine. Right, Princess?
I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't. Even last year's season wasn't. I watched as many games as I could last season. And I had to suffer through some horrid fucking losses, okay? The 3-0 loss to Wolves still fucking keeps me awake at night sometimes. That's how fucking angry I am at that game. That was a waste of fucking 30 minutes of my life right then and there. But I just wanted to, before I even actually get into what I wanted to get into, I just wanted to offer a statistic which is fucking mind-boggling to me. Darwin Nunez, winger for the Liverpool. His goal contributions this season as Manchester United, which is 14, compared to Manchester United's entire attacking armada combined. He has 14 by himself, and what was his name? Hojlund, Rashford, Marshall, Anthony, and Sancho. I guess they all collectively make up 14. Like, that's crazy though. Like, you guys, to defend you to some extent, the players have to step up. That's really what it comes down to. Coaching can only do so much. Fuck you, okay?
No, what my issue is, Matthew, is the same reason.
What's your issue, Mike?
Why I went on the rant. All of a sudden, people have something to say. No one, you know what? People wanted Nunez gone last year.
No, I agree. I saw that discourse.
Everybody's on his meat. These casual fans, I tell you.
Listen, I was in one shape or form at one point in the season last year on that ride as well, because I was disappointed in his performance a lot of the times because he's very hot and cold. He's very hot and cold. It seems as though he's on a pretty decent hot streak as far as goal. What they call it again? Goal contributions. Excuse me. I lost my fucking train of thought there because you and I are getting into it now. But yeah, goal contributions. He just happens to be on a hot streak, and he's scoring goals internationally as well as in the Premier League, which is great. I'm happy for him. I'm very happy because it benefits me. But for the record, I am not bandwagoning. I'm in it for the long haul, okay? And as a matter of fact, I was following them loosely years before I ever started to really try to get into the Premier League because I finally figured out where I can watch the fucking sport. Thank God for USA and Peacock. So you can't really blame me too much for not knowing where exactly to watch them. When now that they have an outlet in the US to watch it, it's easy for me. It's available. I've only missed one game this entire season, except for the international games, because I can't get those. But at least I'm trying. I'm not perfect. I admit I'm not perfect, and I still have a lot to learn. If you've listened to my episode on the Wait What Trio podcast, you'll know that it's pathetic, my knowledge right now. But I have enjoyed soccer for a very long time. I just only happened to ever watch it during the World Cup, and the MLS never interested me for some reason. And here I am, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it more than football now, American football.
Yeah, well, you're a Giants fan, so that's not surprising.
Yeah, it also doesn't. Yeah, that's actually helping my argument there as well, because the Giants are fucking abysmal. So at least
Matt's been on this high horse about Liverpool. I'm a fan of the football over across the sea, but going back to Matt's point, he's really on this high horse about his soccer because it's like the one good thing he's got going for him sports wise, because he's a Yankees fan, a Giants fan, he's a Rangers fan.
Whoa, the Rangers are doing good. You hush your mouth.
Not the Texas Rangers. Shout out to them. And then what else? You like the Knicks too?
Oh yeah, well I've known pain with the Knicks since I was born. So
yeah, so good for you, Matt. You got one good thing going for you sports wise.
Listen. Hey, like I said, the Rangers are doing good too. The season just started. They're on a really great streak right now, so I can't complain too much. Yeah. But even then, at least, if anything, Mike, you should be happy that I'm watching a sport that you and I could engage in conversations such as this, where we can talk a little bit of shit. That's all. I enjoy this. I enjoy the banter back and forth for me. And I'm sure when we face United in a couple of weeks, if you somehow win, you'll probably talk all kinds of shit to me on that episode the week after. So
see, I wouldn't talk shit to you because I think as far as like understanding the sport, that's unfair. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't really engage you. Like one of the guys from What the Trio, I'd probably get into one of them, but not you, because you're in like your infancy of understanding the game.
Yeah, you can't hold too much against me in that.
However, because you've been so obnoxious with posting all these things, if we win, you best believe you're going to hear it.
Oh, I'll hear it. 100%. And if we win, you'll hear from me too. At this rate, I expect another 7-0 victory. I'm going to be honest with you.
You'd be like a mosquito in my ear, bro.
Sure, yeah. Sure.
Get away.
I was going to be respectful when that day comes. Now I'm not going to be so respectful now. So that's all I'm going to say. I look forward to that now.
Okay, well, I hope you come prepared with some Because if you don't know what you're talking about, you just go, "Oh, we won." That's not going to do it for me, bro.
That's fair. I
"Oh, we
respect
won."
that.
It's not going to do it for me. You got to come better than that. I hope you're prepared. Because now I'm going to roast the fuck out of you. I don't care if we lost. I'm still roast you. You'll lose. Either way. I win.
As far as knowledge goes, yeah, sure. I'm up for it. But hey, man.
Anyways, listen, man.
Really quick before we go, I'm curious to know what you guys think. What do you think about this Harden trade? Your Sixers, they finally did it. I didn't think they were going to do it, but they did it.
I didn't think they do it either. Glad he's gone. Got that dead weight off, and they got
ready to burn that jersey yet?
No, burn. I didn't say I was gonna burn it. I said I was gonna give it to your porn star friend that we had on the podcast, so she could use it as like a squirt rag or something.
Such an out of pocket statement.
Well, I mean, hey, it's gonna have more use now than it will, 10 years from now, 20. I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad he's gone. Got that head case out of here, and now they got shout out Rocco. Love Robert Covington, one of the stepping stones for the process, and then he's bouncing team to team. Now he's back in Philly, so good to see him back. Yeah, and apparently the Sixers aren't done because I keep seeing them in tweets where it's like, oh, they're going to be allegedly they're going to go after Zach LaVine or they're going to go after Donovan Mitchell. I saw that today, and I'm like,
you're not getting Mitchell. I don't think they're getting.
They're not getting anyone because you know why? Teams are going to want either Embiid or they're going to want Maxey. They're not going to give up either one. You want Tobias? We'll give you Tobias. I don't care about that.
Tobias Harris over me.
Yeah. Overall, I'm glad they got it done.
I'm just glad that Harden can be happy where he is. We can move on from that chapter of the Sixers history, and we can go out and win another champion. I'm on some chill shit. Other than me going off on your dumb ass, I've been on some chill shit. I like this. Except I get just and talking about the conflict, but this is good. I gotta smoke more often before I do this. I'm saying
you always say your energy is low when it comes to you smoking. I think you did good today. Before all the rants.
Fuck that. I'm sorry. Listen, before we head out, I apologize. Okay, but these are two things that I feel very passionately about, and as y'all can see, I was chill throughout most of the show. But I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. All right, man. Take us to church, man.
All right. I will say this much. If you have any knowledge you can share with me about the sport of soccer or football, I would be more than willing to learn from the master himself. That's all I will say. With that being said, this has been episode 60 of the Bro Migos podcast. We appreciate everybody who's listening to us thus far in the episode. Shout out Dane. Couldn't make it today, but we hope to see him next week. Find us on all of our favorite podcasting platforms, including, but not limited to, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeart, Pandora, the whole 9 yards, Good Pods app. You name it, search up the Bro Migos podcast. Always appreciate everybody's feedback on the show. It definitely helps us out. You can also follow us on Twitter at Bro Migos Pod, Instagram and Facebook, the Bro Migos Podcast, TikTok. The Bro Migos Pod on Instagram and Facebook. The Bro Migos Podcast is on TikTok. Mike, since you're so hyped up with the energy, why don't you tell the people about the YouTube?
Hey, come on, man. Listen, being real. Don't be mean. Be nice. Be supportive. Support your boys, man. Go on YouTube, subscribe, like it. You don't got to watch all of it. Watch some of it. You get to see our faces. We get pretty for you, except for Matt, because he likes to wear nonsense. Saying.
I'll also say this. If you don't subscribe to the YouTube, Matt Canada will take over your offense and hold it hostage.
What is going on today? Oh, my Lord.
I didn't do it. That's going to be a clip, by the way. I didn't do it, okay?
Hey, Steelers play tonight. It's Thursday night. They stink. Matt Canada sucks. Why he still has a job, I don't know. But this is basically what he looks like. He's holding the Steelers offense hostage, holding them to 11 points a game on offense. It's honestly astounding at this point. If you trot out the defense on there, the defense will score more points than the offense. It's gotten that bad.
You look like you're about to rob Primanti Brothers. Give me extra fries on my sandwich, bitch.
Why you gotta rob someone? Maybe he's just cold. He's just cold. Anyway, good night, people. Good night from Germany. Peace to y'all. Y'all have Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay blessed. Stay healthy. Your mental health is important.
You've been listening to the Bromigos podcast.
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow. I beat him.